Hey, welcome to Build a Software Business in 2017. This is the week #1 workshop. Now, when we're starting to build software, as I talked about in the introduction webinar, you can go out and you can try to find a programmer and all that stuff. But the easiest way to get started is just use the Dash software to build your products. And the fastest way is using private label rights products. Now, I'm sure everyone on this workshop has tons of PLR on their hard drive. It may still have relevant content, great content, but the sales page may be dated or something with the product isn't right, or you just want to turn the product into a software dash product. So we have to make sure it's imperative that we use high quality PLR. If not, then this is all just an exercise in futility because people are not going to pick up the product or they'll buy the product. And if it has junky content or just is not relevant, you're going to get tons of support and refunds. We don't want that. All right, so one of the places that I use is called Master Resale Rights. And you probably have your own. If you don't, this is a great resource. Let me show you. I'm going to log in here and I'm going to show you some of the products. Okay, we're logged in, and as you can see right here, right out of the gate here, January 10th, so that was yesterday, Product Launch Authority. And we can take a look at the sales page. Very nice looking sales page. We're probably not going to use it. We're going to use any videos that they have, so we want to check the contents here. Want to see if they have videos. There's graphics. So I know they'll have really good graphics. And there's MP3s for audios, and here's the videos. Okay, 10 videos. Perfect, MP4 videos. So this would be a great product to get started with. It's timely. We can scroll on down here. JVZoo training videos might be a nice little product to do for that. DL Guard training videos, and see when it says personal use rights, this is a perfect product. Dashboard is a perfect product for products like these. You're not really giving them the product as long as you don't allow them to download any of the product. You're just creating an interface and software and serving up the product. Now the videos can be uploaded to your S3 Amazon or your dedicated server, VPS, or whatever it is. You're not really giving them the product. Here's one. Private label rights with how to be an affiliate rock star. This video course teaches your customers how to survive and thrive in the ultra competitive affiliate marketing industry. So here's another product. Ultimate Passive Income Deluxe. Here's two products. So this is the upgrade.
How to build a six-figure e-commerce business.
Oh, that's a really good sales page. I need to come back and download that. And then here's the regular site. This is the
How to build.
Here's the first site and then the upgrade. That's a perfect site. There's obviously a problem here with one of the graphics. It's not a big deal. You just have, they're probably not pointing to the graphics folder. Easy enough to fix in HTML. But you get the idea. You have a product and you're creating a dashboard for it. So a software dashboard. Whether that's you're serving up videos, whether you're serving up a PDF, whether you're giving them access to an ebook, or even using the internal browser to send someone to a site, maybe a back end of a site, or maybe a SaaS product, software as a service product, and you don't want them to get the URL. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for that. Okay, you've got to determine if the PLR will work as a Dash product. So again, when we're using the Dash product, I'm going to click on the button here, you can run a program, you can go out, use your default browser, and go out to a site, go out to a download. You can use the internal browser, we just talked about that. You can serve up a YouTube video. I like Vimeo videos because they're just a little cleaner than YouTube. And it doesn't have the little YouTube logo on it, so they can't click on that and jump out to YouTube from the from the video playing, so I like Vimeo. MP3 audios, you saw some MP3 products a minute ago, so that could be, you want to use MP3, that's perfect. PDFs, and then the exit menu. So our product will fit just fine. Now let's go ahead and um, move on to the next subject, which is using PLR graphics if at all possible. Now the reason I use PLR graphics is because, one, it's much easier than outsourcing and it doesn't cost me anything. It's faster than creating your own. I'm not a graphics person. So if you're a graphics person and you like doing that, then have at it. But I just don't do it. The thing you have to make sure of, the graphics have to be high quality. If they're just junky graphics, they're not going to work. So let's pick a product here, and it's called Snapchat, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did to build out this product. So I purchased this product, Snapchat PLR, and here are all the resources: private label money machine, training guide, cheat sheet, mind map, all this stuff. So all these resources were in zip files. So all I did was I looked at the graphics. The first thing I did was I went out here to the sales letter and I looked at the images. All right, none of these images really do it for me for a dashboard interface. So I'm looking for e-covers. So right here is high quality e-covers. So, and I have the PSDs. Perfect. So here's one that I really like. And the reason I like this is because you see the little icons. So on these icons, I can put my modules. So what I can do is I can take each product and kind of zip it up and do just see how many products or how many modules there are. So here's the PSD file. And let's go back over here for modules. So I determined there were 14 modules. So what I did was I put module 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. I just basically put them together, a resource report, and then the complete Snapchat and training guide. So there's all of my modules. And then all I did was I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. I have 14 modules and I have 7 buttons. So two products per button, and it works. So all I did here was I went to marketing. We show marketing here. And I just created a duplicate. So I duplicate the layer and I say marketing copy. And then I grab my tool here. And I just moved this down. I renamed it to exit. And I moved it over here to the right. That's all I did was just duplicate this layer, call it exit, and move it over to the right. Now I'm going to delete that layer. Now, the proper dimensions for the interface for the Dash product is 640 by 480. Well, this obviously is not 640 by 480, so I need to save this for the web. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock it, and I'm just going to say it's 640 by 480. Okay, so as I talked about in the intro, it kind of squishes it down a little bit, but you know, that's fine. It doesn't look bad at all. And then I just save that image out, and so we'll just save this out to. I'm just going to put it in a temp directory here. Now, when I come over to my product, what I'm going to use that Snapchat for my background. So I'm going to grab the background image. And it could be a PNG, could be a JPEG. Just going to go over here to temp. I'm going to grab that image. And there's the image. I'm going to hide all the buttons. All right, so there's my image. Man, that looks so professional. I didn't have to do anything with the graphics other than use Photoshop. Any PSD editor will work. GIMP, if you don't want to spring for Photoshop, if you have something else that will edit PSD files, that's all you need, because a lot of these high quality PLR products have PSD files or they have a JPEG. This is already done. So all I had to do was just change, we'll add the exit, and then shrink it down, and that's basically it. 640 by 480. Now I'm going to use JRuler, and we talked about this. It's a free product, and I'm going to put my button. First, I'm going to bring up Notepad because I'm going to write this stuff down. So button number 1, active. You can see it right here. And I'm going to put button number 1 right here. So we're going to say that that is approximately 10 left. And we're going to see how far it is wide. So about 120 for the width. And then we're going to flip it. All right, so we want to put this right up around 360 for the top. So 360. Not down too low, so I'm going to make it 350. All right, that looks pretty good. It's going to cover everything. The width, everything looks really good. So I'm going to write this down. I'm just going to go top 350, put a couple in, and go left 10, width 120, and height is 52. Now you see why that's important in just a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my spaces in here, and I'm going to say this is module 1 and 2. This is tooltips, so when they mouse over it, they'll see, they'll see this. So I'm going to say, and then I put these files out on my S3 Amazon. So this will be Snapchat, and okay, so here's modules 1 and 2. So I'm going to generate shortcode for that. So I'm going to copy that over. And I'm going to say go to default browser and download that. So it's going to fire browser and download that particular code. Okay, now, and I would do this for all of these. So I would take button number 2 and put that right here, button 3, 4, 5, 6, or I would split it up and I'd say maybe this is starting, so this would be 1, 2, 3, and then this might be 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I always use button 12 for my exit. So it makes it real easy. It makes it easy to set these things up. Now, JRuler is important. You have to have JRuler. It is free. You can download JRuler in the right sidebar on the webinar. I popped up a link so you can go grab it. You will absolutely need it because you can't guess where these buttons are going to go. You just have to measure them and do the best you can, because the buttons are going to be spread out depending on your canvas. Okay, and then I'm going to set up registration. So I'm going to say reg code needed. In this case, let's just make it simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just making up something, HTTP mysqueezepage.com register. So I'm going to say done, and then we want to make sure that brandable tags that we click on title and registration. So we're done. And now I'm just going to set up a folder out here on my desktop. So I'm going to make a folder and I'm going to call it Snapchat test for webinar. And I'm going to go snap.exe and then AZ's Snow's Snapchat marketing app. And then I'm going to check the box that says generate branding tool, and I'm going to build the project. All right, so we built the project. Here it is. And then I want to create an icon for this. All right, so I found an icon before, and I'm just going to use that. So let me go out and grab that real fast. Alrighty, so I found this icon for Snap. In fact, it may have been an icon that was in the product itself, but that's the icon. So that's what we're going to use for our product. And we have to name it exactly the same as our application executable. If you don't name it the same thing, then it won't show up on the sidebar. So I'm going to click on Snap, and it's going to fire. And then we're going to do the registration key. You really don't need the email. That's just between you and I. That's a little something. You don't really need the email. We're just going to put in the key. And I click OK. And then if I click here, it sends me out to my modules 1 and 2 download. And it's compile product. I didn't put exit in here, but I can stop it right here. That's basically it. You just make the product by doing, putting out your modules and the exit. And then you have the brander. So if we go over to the product itself, we'll see the brander. I'm going to put file insight on this for Norton, make sure that it's okay, because it may complain it's a new product. See, it says it's bad. I don't want it to quarantine it. Same thing with the brander. So you need to set up your Windows antivirus to trust these little products, because they don't have any feedback, and so they're not going to get trusted. It's just an unknown piece of software that's running in the Windows environment, and so your AV product will err on the side of being more safe than sorry. So it's going to say, yeah, this is suspect. Don't run it. All right, so to run the brander, we just click on the brander, find that executable, Snap, and now I can change the title and I can change my registration settings. So your customer now has the ability to rebrand your software, make it their own, lock it, which will explode their list, and once they brand it, then it's branded. Now the great thing about this is you can force them to actually have to brand it before it can be open. And how we do that is we say do not run unless branded. All right, so we're not going to run it until it's branded. So I'm going to build a project. I'm just going to overwrite what's there. And then we're going to just again make sure that Norton's okay with this. And the brander. And you just need to do that with your antivirus, because if you don't, it's basically going to complain, and you're just going to be dealing with that all the time. It's not fun. Okay, to fire off Snap, and see it pops up this little thing, not branded. This program must be branded before it can be run. This is absolutely beautiful. This is a great way to force your customer to brand the product before they run it. So they have to now go grab the brander, and I'm just going to set up the same thing. I'm just going to not change the title. Well, I will change the title. My nifty desktop app. And registration, I'm just going to keep it the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to brand it. So now it's branded with my stuff. So if I run it, it's going to run with, see, my nifty desktop app. So now it's running in the environment. It's been rebranded. So you're forcing your customer to rebrand the software before they can run it. So it takes your name out of it, basically. They put their own information in. They have to come up with their own squeeze page, their own registration code. It just basically makes the product, make sure that your customer has now turned the product into their product. So it's okay if they send out a bunch, if they sell a bunch of your products with your branding on it, because to unlock it, someone's going to have to go get added to your list, but it's not your customer, it's their customer. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's basically it for setting these little projects up and then rebranding them. Now, let me show you how I make a very slick Windows installation. All right, so I'm just going to make a new folder. Snapchat Windows app. Oh, that's already. I know that there's not one with that on it. So, all right, so to make a Windows installation file, we first have to create our setup using WinRAR. Now, WinRAR is free, so I'm going to grab these files, my icon file, my executable, and this .lim file. And I'm going to say add to archive. And now I want to check create SFX. I'm going to move this down so I can show you what I mean here when I move on. Advanced, we want to click on SFX options. Now, WinRAR is free. I went ahead and bought it because I didn't want the nags all the time. But it is a free product, so you don't have to buy it if you don't want to, and it'll do the same thing. Path to extract. Setup, I want to run snap. I'm going to run this executable first. We want modes, we want to check this unpack temporary folder and hide all. And then text and icon, we want to go to the browse button right here and find our icon, which is right here. And then click OK. And then click OK, and that will make our Snapchat test for webinar. This is the application. It's all of these that are combined into an executable, but it's still not a Windows installation file. We didn't install it. So if we click on this, it will actually run the product. It'll run Snapchat. But I like to be a little bit more professional, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out to this folder that I made all by itself. I'm just going to move it over. So it's the only thing in this folder. Now I'm going to fire off Advanced Installer. You have the links to Advanced Installer. It was in the first webinar. You can do a search on Advanced Installer. It's absolutely free. And I'm going to create my project. I'm going to call this Snapchat Desktop Windows Desktop App. I'm going to put my name in here as my organization. Now I keep these the same. I don't change anything. I just next through it. I have to go to the folder that contains my file. And don't get these confused. So we want to version 2. I think that's it. So I want to make sure I'm not confused. Snapchat. Okay. That's what we want. Version 2. And there won't be anything in here. It'll just be select a folder, so you won't see any files. Sometimes that freaks people out, but there's nothing there. Now it's going to find your executable. Just go ahead, keep these both checked. I just do the defaults. Launch after installation, so I click on the application. Yes, I want to fire that after it's installed. And then browse installation folder. I just keep these all the default. And then I add my own license key. You may want to, or not license key, but my EULA, end user license agreement. You may want to do your own. It has to be in RTF format, rich text format. So I'm going to next through that. I'm going to say build the project, and it's going to build the project. And now I have my product as a Windows product. It has its own Windows installation. So I'm going to go to Advanced Installer, Projects, Snapchat, Windows Desktop. Okay, so here's my setup files. And all I would do is I would just zip this up. And this is the file I would give my customer. So my customer clicks on this, and now here is my installation. Now look at how smooth this is. Very professional. Here's my end user license agreement, the EULA. I accept it. I next through it. This is welcome to the Snapchat Windows Desktop App Setup Wizard. And then it installs it in a directory. They can choose to change that if they want. So I say yes, go ahead and install it. And now what it's doing, it's uncompressing all the files, and it's actually adding this to the Windows Hive. So this actually goes into the registry and creates files for your just like any Windows program. Now if we finish, it's going to fire the program. As you can see right here, here's my icon. It installed it on the desktop. Very professional, very cool. So there's my product. My one button is working. Exit, of course, is not working. But there is my icon. There is my product. And it's on the person's desktop, and it's running. Very professional piece of software. So hopefully you get the idea of how great these little dashboard products are, how easy they are to create in the Windows environment using this software dash builder. All right, now for the bonus, you're gonna get 5 of my products, the setup files. So play around with those and have fun. And then next week, I'm going to show you the easy software maker and how you can create products just using simple HTML code. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. I want to thank you for joining this workshop. You're going to get a lot out of it. You're going to get a software business that you can make money with. If you've never made any money in internet marketing before, you're in the right place at the right time. Hey, thanks for watching.